No, thank you very much, House Chair. We take this opportunity as the economic freedom fighters to condemn the police brutality that is displayed by the ANC government against Wits University students, and condemn the fact that the ANC government once again killed a black person in Johannesburg as part of suppressing a legitimate protest against financial exclusion. If the austerity budget that we're debating here did not reduce the allocations to the National Students Financial Aid Scheme, the black person who was killed today would have never been killed, will still be alive as we speak here. We stand here to propose that we as Parliament will reject the austerity budget and fiscal framework as presented by the Minister of Finance on the 24th of February 2021. We do so just even now for a simple reason. There's not enough allocation for the procurement and delivery of vaccines. We're in a crisis now. In his response to the questions that were being asked now, the Minister of Health has admitted to the fact that 10 billion rands over a period of 2 years is inadequate to reach herd immunity, to achieve herd immunity. And you cannot say that you're going to depend on contingency budget, because contingency budgets have got their own rules and guidelines. And contingency budgets are meant for unexpected eventualities. We have been expecting this year that we should vaccinate at least 67% of South Africa's population. So the budget has to be allocated to achieve that. It's a basic logic that we have to then follow. So we must use our power as Parliament. We are allowed as Parliament to amend money bills. We can't introduce them, but we can amend them. But let's amend the allocation to give adequate resources for the vaccination of our people so that we insulate them from the disease that is devastating not only South Africa, but the entire world. That is a basic thing that we need to then deal with in terms of what happens. Now, DA will not know, maybe because of the semi-literacy levels on economics, that unlike in a household context, when you are faced with a fiscal crisis as a country, you do not reduce expenditure, because national expenditure is national income as well. Government expenditure amounts to GDP growth later on, which will contribute to a reduction of poverty, creation of jobs, and increased heightened economic activity. It contributes to broadening the revenue base. The only sensible scientific way to deal with the debt to GDP ratio is to increase economic activity. There's no shortcut to that. There's no other way you can reduce the debt obligations, because if you do not expand as government, the economy is going to shrink. Even the government component that deals with the economic growth is going to shrink, and therefore automatically increasing the debt to GDP ratio. It's called the ratio because it's comparative in that particular context. But the budget in the MTEF, as proposed, is going to reduce national expenditure by more than 60 billion in the 2021-2022 budget, by more than 90 billion in the 2022-2023 budget, by more than 150 billion in the 2023-2024 budget. What that automatically means is that the economy is going to be shrunk by government deliberately because of a misconception of how budgeting and fiscal policy can be utilized to reignite economic activity. I know that there was discussion in the committees on finance that we should have further deliberations in that particular regard. But there are issues that we have to then deal with, at least in this year, in terms of what should happen. We should finalize the establishment of the state bank. There's an agreement in terms of us establishing a state-owned bank. There's lots of benefits that come with that. We should finalize the discontinuation of private ownership in the South African Reserve Bank. We should, as we committed, all of us here, that we should establish a sovereign wealth fund in terms of what should happen. But we should guarantee energy security. And let us dismiss an illusion, the nonsensical illusion, that we can achieve energy, particularly electricity security, without the base load of clean coal. There is no renewable energy sources that is going to be a reliable source of energy in the manner that it is here. So a mixed energy policy in South Africa that must be pursued should include clean coal, must include the liquefied natural gases, must include nuclear, and it must of course include renewable energies, which must be anchored by state ownership and guidance. But in the manner in which it is being dealt with now, we're not going to achieve anything. Worse, the budget has reduced allocation to the Department of Trade and Industry, which is supposed to deal with the micro components of the economy in terms of driving and subsidizing industries. How is the economy going to grow if you're not paying particular attention to industrialization? We have illustrated several times and will continue to do so, to illustrate that you will never be rich as a country, you will never create jobs unless if you deliberately and purposefully pursue industrial expansion. The current budget, as has been presented, has reduced the allocation to industrial policy, meaning that the economy is going to shrink and is going to shrink the revenue base, meaning that poverty is going to deepen, unemployment is going to widen, and inequality is going to widen. You're not going to achieve anything. Let's reject this budget. It's not helping us. Thank you very much.